Right now, it's time to talk real estate, and we have with us the CEO of Skyview Real Estate, Akash. Welcome back.
Thank you so much for the welcome, Ronak. And I think we all are missing Neil. But we are enjoying his commentary in the evening.
He's not missing anything because he loves cricket.
He loves real estate now, by the way.
Oh, he does. Okay.
After 12 weeks of doing a show together.
Okay.
I think he has learned so much about real estate with me. I'm sure he's gonna answer all the questions for the listeners next time.
Absolutely. I hope he doesn't come as a guest like you now.
No. That you leave it to me.
It'll take time. All right. So tell us, where have you been? I've been hearing exciting stories about your
well, the thing
travel.
is, I took a small break.
Okay.
We were traveling to Spain with my family. It was a break which was during the Eid holidays, and we extended a bit. But again, wherever I go, I talk about Dubai. I talk about Dubai real estate and get people interested in what I do. And I was surprised whenever I was interacting with people, meeting with people, they were more excited about Dubai, and especially visiting Dubai. Some of them, in fact, asked me what is the thing to invest in properties and the rates compared to what it is there in Marbella or in Barcelona. They were very excited about property purchase here, and I think this is what I've been trying to tell people. All over the world, Dubai has become a global hotspot to buy property. It's not no longer limited to the subcontinent. It's gone well beyond. It's America, which people are talking about, Canada, Japan, countries that you know. People are moving in. The smartest investors is moving in. Having a property in Dubai has become a talk of the town in every country of the world, every top countries of the world.
Has it changed after COVID, or is it like?
See, after COVID, things have become a bit more, the way the COVID was handled, the way the entire.
I think it's just become more attractive, I guess, for people, because they know how this country could handle like a pandemic of this scale, then it can handle anything.
Especially when you're comparing it how it was handled back in Europe or in America. So this country was well prepared. Things were well organized.
Absolutely. I can't talk more about it. Like, I mean, you can't stress more on that, because how we've all seen it and we all experienced it.
Also, how quickly we were back on the open.
Totally.
We were allowing the malls for opening pretty fastly. The tourists started coming
in by September 2020.
Correct.
I remember.
And the rules were followed. Until unless your face mask was compulsory, everybody was with that. The moment there was a bit leniency allowed, people were still wearing it. You can still do it. And this is what was amusing a lot of people, in the other countries, because
also vaccination, how fast it happened for everyone and free.
Free vaccination without any delay. Everybody was given equal. There was no bias. Every resident was given equal opportunities. The appointment system was pretty well organized. Not one vaccine, two. Then Pfizer came in. Everybody was offered Pfizer. So all those things.
I've got 4 myself.
Right.
Sinopharm and Pfizer.
And guess what? We were not forced. We were never told that you have to do it and it's compulsory. So everything whatever the UAE in as a country or has proven at point, so people have changed their mentality.
True.
And also the interest is back in Dubai real estate on a big way. Not only because of that, obviously there has been world scenarios where people are facing wars and other situations.
So Russians are now the top buyers in real estate. That's one thing.
That's 2 quarters has been changed. So Indians were top buyers. Now Indians have slipped to 2nd and 3rd position in different quarters. Russians are buying it, understandably. But
yes, when I came in 2017, that was the first story that I did. I do these stories for BBC, and that was like Indians followed by all the other nationalities, and now it's all changed. But I also want to know a little bit, since you are back from Spain and you said that you talk to people regarding real estate, just if you can tell us a bit of a basic comparison, like vis-a-vis
okay, so again, if you want to compare apples to apples, Dubai real estate to Spain real estate, or to Europe on that basis, so there are 3-4 major things that you need to understand. So Spain has been a more traditional country, so the more you will not find much more construction. A newer construction in a country like Spain is next to impossible.
No high rises,
very less high rises, very old structure, very Mediterranean look buildings. So and whatever the new buildings or the new villas that are taking shape partnership. It is individual. It's not a project or on large scale. So finding a property obviously is difficult in Spain, all that. But the biggest thing is, even if you buy a property, what is the returns that you get? The rental returns is not more than 2 to 3%. The taxes are pretty huge. So you pay much. Property taxes are there. Transfer fees are there. Transaction, in order to buy and sell property, a normal transaction takes anywhere between 1 month to 4 months time, and it could go beyond. Okay.
Why so much?
Because the system is very old, very traditional. So you have solicitors, you have brokers which are involved, then there are solicitors, the whole process, banks, trust, all those things needs to be taken care of. And people don't buy and sell properties on a frequent basis because of the taxes which are involved. So there is capital gain tax.
And also, it's not a dynamic market like Dubai, I suppose.
So it's no, of course it is not. And most people in this country buy a house for living. And the mortgage plays a very important role. So any fluctuation in a mortgage price plays a very important role in the decision making. Here, 60 to 70% of the customers that we get are cash buyers. They are not dependent on a finance. They are completely depending on cash that they have. And again, don't get me wrong, the prices are booming in Marbella. The prices are also going up in cities, but the prices are already expensive. So a decent villa near the beach will be somewhere around easily around 50 million euros with a beach mansion.
My God, that's a lot of money.
That's a lot of money. Marbella, a basic villa, you will not get anything between 10 to 11 million euros. A villa which is a decent size of around 6 to 7,000 square feet. Whereas in Dubai, you still get almost 40, 50% or even 60% cheaper than that.
But do people in Spain and European countries like Dubai, do they like to rent more or buy more?
So again, as I said, the people over there, there are two kind of industry which is working. Airbnb has caught up big time.
Oh,
so
yes.
a lot of people are putting their houses on Airbnb, and that's also driving the rental market up. So people are moving outside the cities like Barcelona. You will find 80% of central districts to be on Airbnb, and a lot of people are renting it out to short-term rentals than to long-term rentals. So people are moving out on the outskirts.
Okay.
And also, if you compare it with villas and end users, so there are a lot of international clients which are buying in this to live as a holiday home, to keep this as a holiday home, and they are not putting on rental. It is just a holiday home for them. So they might go in some of the summer months to Europe and to Spain and to live over there. But again, as I said, everybody that I spoke to was very excited about Dubai, very excited about coming over here. The new and I'm telling you, 10 years down the line, people will start thinking, why didn't I buy a property when it was offered in 2022, 2023?
Okay, then in that case, you should call Skyview Real Estate. Just tell us the number before we slip into this break.
Sure, it's 050-2859-321. This is our, you can call us on this number, you can send us WhatsApp on the same number. It's 050-2859-321.
All right. So when we come back from this break immediately, let's dive into today's topic, which is it a good time to buy or not? That's the big question in everybody's mind right now. So stay tuned. This is Rana Kotecha, and with me is CEO of Skyview Real Estate, Akash Kanjwani. So Akash, let's just address the elephant in the room. Is it a good time to buy now? Okay,
so let's this is the topic which has been I think a lot of people have sent WhatsApp, and this is a question a broker is facing this every day. So after COVID, the prices were very low comparatively. So we had seen a period where COVID was, people were doubtful. So there were a lot of deals which are available in the market. But unfortunately, what has happened after COVID, everybody knows that people have started buying Dubai. They have to consider Dubai. The business has gone up. The trading has gone up. The tourism is back on a big scale, which is there. So the market has gone up overall. Now the prices of property are naturally gone up. The question is, again, did I miss the bus?
That's the question that I was going to ask, because Nidan has asked that question.
Correct. Did I miss the bus? Is it right time? Should I enter now? What if it's the peak and then the market? No, anything. It's not very simple. A broker will tell you, no, buy it, and it's that. You need to understand 3-4 things before you get into that. There are certain areas of investment in Dubai real estate which have gone to a peak, but it is for a different kind of buyers. So when we are talking about mansions on the Palm and mansions on Imar beachfront, front villas, apartments, or we are talking about Jumeirah Bay plots, which is breaking all-time records. These are rarest of the rare units, which are not going to be available whatsoever in, there's not going to be any more Palm Jumeirah, which is going to be there. There will
Right.
be Palm Jebel
It's
Ali.
limited,
very limited
supply.
and when it was born to happen that it is going to get more and more exclusive, and
Right.
there will be a point where this is only for the top guys which will be living in the Palm. So if you are planning to invest that kind of money, I think you should jump into Palm and you should definitely buy that kind of property, because this is very rare. Apart from that, if you're looking for investing a smaller amount into areas like Marina, JLT, JVC, Arjan, these are still not jumped as a price of a Palm. Okay, but I think the reason for you to investment should be very clear.
Okay.
If you're investing in a very short-term note that you want to enter today and you want to take a profit and you want to get down after 6 months, then you're very wrong. Because short-term gain in a real estate market is not very well planned.
Right.
You're dependent too much on that, and if your cash flow is not good and you're just
Right.
coming for a quick take, this is not a cryptocurrency.
Right, and it's too much effort also, no, to
Correct.
buy, sell.
Buy, sell. So you
all of
pay
those things.
brokerage fees, you pay DLD, you pay land department.
It's also very emotional decision. Also, I feel, like
If-
there's a lot of stuff is applied to it.
If you're buying a house for living, that becomes emotional. But if you're buying it for investment, it's purely numbers, and numbers come with a risk. So it's good that you analyze your risk before you start dumping.
Okay.
This is where we come into the picture. This is where
Right.
I come into the picture. I tell you whether this is the risk involved, this is the profit, this is the loss that you might do. So always come into the picture with a backup plan that I will buy a property for flipping or for investing.
Okay.
But I might also, if the market doesn't give me a return that I'm expecting out of it, I might keep it for a longer period.
Okay.
And as I said, it's always a right time to buy, but it's always wrong time to book your profit or a loss in a real estate. So if you're in a hurry, now let's say, let me break it down.
You tell us more about a good time to buy, and also
Yes.
what is a good time to exit when you have already bought it and when
Yes.
you want to sell it as well. Those are the things that.
And I will also go through a small risk assessment of the current market versus the market when it was COVID. Why it is much more easier to buy now and safer to buy now than it was in COVID time.
Absolutely, yeah. Before we were going into the break, you were talking about the risks, versus the time that was in the COVID.
Correct.
To now buying and also selling. So just tell us more about
Okay,
that.
so again, the topic that we are discussing today is it the right time to buy?
Yes.
So I want to ask a lot of people. A lot of people tell me, "Oh, I should have bought it in COVID." Yes, you should have. But was it more riskier to buy in COVID? I will break down. Definitely, it was much more riskier to buy in COVID than it is buying now. So there are a couple of reasons for that. During COVID, it was like driving in a fog. We had no idea where you're driving. Very few people had a clue or an intuition that the property market will increase. Even the top investors or the top person that we were talking were not clear. So everybody thought it is right time to have some money in our hands as a cash, because no matter what the situation could turn out, cash was always a better option.
Yeah.
So if I say in terms of risk during buying property in COVID was around anywhere between 60 to 80%. That it was riskier to buy properties in COVID because there was no golden visa, there was no assurance that the market will, how long the COVID will go around,
Right.
and
There's
how.
no certainty of anything.
Correct. There was no certainty of life at that time. You never know
Exactly,
if
yeah.
it goes. There was scary
Whether
stories.
you'll live or not, yeah.
Correct. Vaccine will come. How long will it take? When will be open back? There was assurance that it will be, and also there was nothing about the war which will happen and people will move in more. Russians will flood the
yeah.
market.
Also, job losses were happening so much.
Correct.
That people who don't have enough or legacy money,
Correct.
they wouldn't be able to buy.
Couldn't. So everybody was a little uncertain. If anybody wanted to enter into market that time, that was a riskiest thing that you could have done. Whereas, let's look at today in 2023. We are clear that we have a golden visa which is there coming with the property. So that gives you assurance. We are clear that we have a job loss insurance which is being offered. We are very clear that the job market is the hottest right now and it looks like an upward trajectory. It doesn't look like a peak because tourism is going up. Business sense, any businessman that you talk to, he will tell you the business interests are up. A lot of people told me, oh, what about recession? There were talks about recession. I was not really comfortable talking about recession because recession doesn't come with a kind of intuition that only the interest rate decide what is the recession. It is inflation which is driving the market up, the prices up, and government is trying to clear the inflation so that it doesn't overheat and fall down, which is very good for the market in a long run. Whenever a government steps in and they fear that the market could collapse, that's the time that you should be comfortable in buying more property, and this is what it is happening.
And
right
now
now
I'll also tell you it's a good time, certainty-wise, because the WHO has just said 2 days back that COVID-19 is no longer a global health emergency.
Correct. So that assurance is there. So right now it's a clear road. You're driving, you're buying a property with a clear vision. Now, if you do mistake from now on, and if you buy a wrong property or you over invest, it is up to you. The market conditions are very good. The market conditions look very good for the next 1.5 year. The only thing that you can do wrong over here is if you don't have money, you over leverage yourself. You over borrow, you buy because the borrowing cost is very, very high right now. You borrow something which you cannot afford at the long run, or you over invest. You invest in an off-plan property by paying just looking at the down payment, but you're not looking at the overall pricing and everything of a property. Second thing that you can choose a property which is from a developer which is not reputed, location which is might be a riskier during the term, or anything else. But buying a property, this is the definitely the most right term or right time to buy a property in my entire career, because now I'm more confident about buying. I'm more confident about where the market is going. At least next 2 to 3 years looks very interesting. So if you're in that borderline whether to buy or wait, I think you should.
Sitting on the fence, basically.
Sitting on the fence. Don't do it. Buy it now. Buy the safest properties. Look at the risk that you have. Look at the reward that you're going to get, because risk versus reward is what it is there. Right now, the risk versus reward is very interesting. Don't go into buying each and everything. Don't go into buying just because it is cheap, I want to buy it. Buy something which makes sense in the future, which is 5 years, 10 years down the line.
But you use the term safest properties. Now, how does one define safest properties?
So safest properties, first it is linked to your budget. So if you have a certain budget in your mind, for example, if you have a budget of around 400-500,000 and you're comfortable with that money to invest for the next 5 to 10 years, that's your safest budget. That's the safest. Second thing is certain areas more closer towards the central of the city. So we are talking about anywhere between downtown, anywhere between Palm, anywhere on these areas. I know the city is expanding.
But Dubai, it's very interesting, because Dubai is unlike Mumbai, let's say, because I've lived in Mumbai, so I can compare it.
Correct.
Is the only city where, even the outskirts become central very soon. Like Emirates Hills, for example, is on the fag end of the city, like it's far. Even Jumeirah for that matter, but it's as much as like downtown or Dubai.
Well, I'll tell you something. You know what Dubai was 10 years back. Today, that's become a central. So I have been living almost 26 years of my life.
That's the infra, I guess.
That's because 26 years of my life when I first came to Dubai, there was only there and Dubai. Anything beyond Jebel Ali was like different city altogether.
And people don't prefer.
So Jebel Ali, Marina, when Marina came up, today look at it. I think more number of population stays on this side of the city.
Not just that, it commands more premium over there.
Correct.
Like in Mumbai, no, it won't happen. Like Daisar, Mira Road, whatever will always be less than Andheri or Malad.
But the thing is, because the city's infrastructure has developed so much and the freehold properties have come up on this side. So I think that downtown being downtown, but Marina has become more like a central. So because you have Media City, you have
True,
Internet
but also
City.
the marketing, you see how like today, if you say I live in Jumeirah or in Media City, you will still be looked upon. But in Mumbai, if you say that I live in Mira Road or Binder, you'll still be looked down upon.
Well, because the premium areas have not come. So if you say Powai today, Powai has become a very and it is also
well marketed again.
So well marketed, but also what you develop over there, what kind of properties are you developing? If you're talking about Jumeirah Bay, so let's talk about Jumeirah Bay Islands. There is a plot which is sold for 139 million. When we are talking about Jumeirah Bay Islands, few years back, no one will talk about that land, but it's a value for money. When you stand on that land, you're looking at unobstructed views of the city. So it is also, if you create a value, if in Mumbai any new area comes up with this kind of posh locality and posh houses, and there are buyers, people can find buyers for this, the market will change. Then you will not talk about Mumbai Central or Kolaba and all that stuff. You will be
But
talking
also, you see it's so consistent in Dubai. I mean, I feel a lot of things can be taken from Dubai real estate market in other countries, especially cities like Mumbai.
Yeah.
Which are similar in terms of.
Well, not only Mumbai. So a lot of cities in the world are taking inspiration from Dubai. Now, one thing everybody has realized that you cannot just depend on the old structures and old property values.
Yeah.
You need to develop new towers, new buildings. You need to come up with infrastructure which looks very modern. And because modern infrastructure, there are two advantages. You can use the space quite well because every corner can be used. Second thing is they are very energy efficient. So a building like a Mediterranean house will take a longer time to cool down because you will require more ACs. But if you have a modern structure, it is the AC efficiency is increased. The way the house has been designed, that the AC air reaches faster to all the, so it takes less of energy. The energy efficiency green building certificates have changed in last 10 years. And Dubai is on the back end, as someone who is involved with the construction and development of a project. I know how difficult it is for me now to get a normal building certificate because everything has to be a green building rated. There is a minimum criteria that has been given to us, how many energy should be consumed. And all these things, Dubai is 10 times ahead. They are thinking way ahead of everybody, and not only thinking but implementing as well. So that's the reason I say it is very interesting. It's a good time to invest. It's a very good time because the rental returns are anyways high. You're talking about easily 8 to 9%. We have discussed in the last 12 weeks. If anybody has missed any episodes, they can visit to my YouTube channel, which is Skyview Real Estate on YouTube. They can go back to all the episodes that we have done with you guys.
And all the information is
there. So we have talked about what is whether to rent a property or to buy a property. Whether you wanna what is a golden visa, how do you get one golden visa. So all those things, clarity that we have given in the last 12 weeks, I think it will assure people that this is definitely a right time. However, I keep on repeating this. Have your goal in mind, have your budget in mind, and have your goal. So what is the reason for buying a property? If your goal is just to make a quick buck out of it and you just want to invest and come out of it, then you need to do your research double, because you need to make sure that you go into property which is really hot. I will tell you, just a few days back, people were queuing up from 2 o'clock in the night for something which was launched in Mudun by Dubai Properties. And there were only around 250 townhouses which were launched. Starting price was around 2.2 million, 2.3 million approximately. And 3 and 4 bedroom townhouses which was on Hissa Street. Perfect, very good payment plan, 60% during construction, 40 on handover.
When is the handover?
Handover was 4th quarter 2026. The construction has just started.
The people who were queuing up were brokers or actual buyers?
No, actual buyers. All the units sold out within, so 9 o'clock they started. By the time 10:30, the units were sold out. And it took 1 hour because of the processing time to collect the checks and book the units. Otherwise, they would have finished in like 15 minutes. But technically, the demand is at peak. And these kind of townhouses and villas are at very, very high demand. And the biggest reason for that is because of scarcity. So you don't have much of supply which is happening in the market. The way the city is growing, the way the population is going, and this thing, I don't see any harm for next 6 months to 1 year that there's gonna be any stoppage of this kind of growth. It's gonna continue growing. Maybe the market situation changes, maybe the dynamic change, but what the factors are right now, I don't see the change will be very sudden and anything negative which is gonna come. So this is definitely not a peak. We're looking at far more ahead of the peak. If you have a good reason to invest, this is the right time to do it.
But there will be some risks associated still today, like even now with you saying that we'll come to that when we come back. But for now, give out your number so that everybody can call.
So you can reach us on 050-2859-321, and you can give us a call on that, or you can send us a WhatsApp on the same number, and we'll get back to you with all your questions.
But you also have a website. When I put Skyview Real Estate, you're the first one to pop up on.
So Skyview Real Estate, we are the only one in Dubai. But if you want to go with our website, you can just type in skyviewdubai.com, and this is our website. This has all the properties that we have in Dubai. It has tons of information that you will ask the questions. And again, you can look for us on YouTube, as I said.
What's the channel name?
It's Skyview Real Estate on YouTube, and you can look for us. All the episodes that we have done with Talk for the last 12 weeks, it's all the episodes are uploaded over there, so you can look into that.
So Akash, now the question that everybody wants to know is, what are the risks associated with buying now?
Okay, so as we have said, yes, it's the right time to buy, but however, there is 10 to 15% risk compared to what it was, during COVID, as we discussed. So the risk which is associated are, let's just jot it down. First risk is the market condition could change. We are in a very high demand phase now. Maybe the demand cools down, and there is a situation where people might be able to not be able to afford the properties because it will go to a certain level, and then the buyer number will decrease. But that risk can be mitigated by having a long-term plan, because if the demand goes down for a certain period, it will come back. Okay, demand supply is a certain things which keep playing. It keep changing from time to time. So if you are worried about demand being lower, then you should plan for a long term investment, anywhere between 5 to 10 years time period. And during that time period, you need to be little patient. Because again, as I said, if you're buying the house for the first time, it's your first investment. You cannot just think about exiting in a 1 year's time. I mean, if you exit from a 1 year's time with a profit, it is always good. But if you want to be the safest investment, then plan it for a longer period of time, because property is not going to go anywhere.
Okay.
It's going to stay.
So let's say if people come to you with specific needs, then do you tailor your solutions to those specific needs? Like say I come to you saying that I have, let's just say I have 100,000 dirhams as my savings. My salary, let's say, is less than 10,000, somewhere in between 5 and 10,000, and I don't have anything else, but I still want to buy a property. Then what would you tell me?
So 100,000 is good enough for buying a down payment for a property, let's say a studio or a 1 bedroom.
Okay.
You can buy a property anywhere between 500 to 600,000, because that's the down payment.
And where would I get that property?
So you can buy a property in JVC or Jan, even in Business Bay, or you can buy a studio for 650, 600, 650.
Okay.
So you have a couple of options, but the problem is that in order to get a mortgage on a property, you also need a minimum salary of around 12,000 dirhams.
Oh, okay.
10,000 dirhams net salary. There are no banks. Maybe it's if you have any other additional income that you can show, that you can have a revenue from some other sources.
Correct.
Or you can increase your down payment. So if you increase your down payment by that's 40 to 50%, then you might get a mortgage easily. But then any property, so if you increase your down payment, that means 100,000 will be less for buying a property. Then the only option that will be left for you is somewhere like international city to invest in.
Okay.
So either you increase your down payment, or you increase your total net salary that you're getting, and then it will be easier. Mortgage finance, even though your EMIs are less than required for it will be, if you take a 25 years loan period, your EMI on 400,000 will not be more than 1700. But a bank policy is very clear that you need to have a minimum salary of 12,000. There are certain exceptions, but again, they will look into your other things, like what is your other investment or any other revenue that you're getting from your home country.
Correct. They will do their due diligence.
And it's not very difficult. So any mortgage consultant that you will speak to will be helping you out with that. For us, we will be only suggesting you a property which is a high rental value, so that you can cover your EMIs. Also, if you're planning to stay in the house, we'll be advising you the location which is convenient to your workplace. So that you don't spend more time in traveling. And also, we will suggest you a property which is vacant, so you can move into a property and either save the rental that you're paying, or you can start getting rental return immediately rather than waiting for it.
And what about maintenance and stuff like that over here?
So the service charges for properties like this is anywhere between 12 dirhams to 16 dirham per square feet. There are few things that you need to consider, which is about your chiller charges, whether the building comes with a chiller charges or no. And we had discussed this in one of the episodes before, that what are the hidden charges in a real estate.
Okay.
So all those hidden charges you need to compute, which is your chiller charges, your service fees. You need to also consider a few things, whether parking, what is the parking situation, whether some of the old buildings then had a parking allowed with it, whether you're getting a parking in the building or not.
That's very important.
Those things add up to your cost.
No, but if you want to rent it, I mean, it's difficult to rent a property without a proper parking.
See, 90% of the apartments do come up with a parking, except for few places like Discovery Gardens and International City. These are the places
But
where
there it's easy to get parking.
little difficult. So that's why the rentals is also low and the selling price is also low.
Okay.
So you need to keep this in mind when you're considering. However, any property which has been constructed after 2010 has come up with parkings. They made it compulsory in 2008 that any house which has been constructed in Dubai needs to have a parking with each apartment, including a studio.
Okay.
And that needs to be included with the selling price. So you cannot, a developer cannot charge you additional for a parking for sure.
Right. I also wanted to ask you how after COVID, these golden visas and the 5-year visas, these long-term visas, how have they impacted the real estate market?
Well, I think Golden Visa has kind of given us a assurance that you're going to be in this country for a much longer period. That's kind of sense of belongingness to the city, to the country, and that belongingness and that assurance has changed a lot of mentality of people. So now people are not thinking about, wait, I might go back, I might lose my job. Now it's like, I buy a property, take a golden visa. Even if I lose job, I have a golden visa, I can look for some other job. So that the sense of belongingness has become more and more. And continuing our previous topic, which is what are the risks? So we have discussed one of the risks is market can change. The second risk that I see, it is you investing in a property which is without doing your research. So you're investing in a property thinking someone has told you, you must have heard, your friends have done it in a peer pressure. Just because he's doing it, you do it. No, don't do that. Do your research. Do your research quite well. You understand the pros and cons. When you talk about areas like outside Dubai, outskirts of Dubai, it's a bit more riskier because if market corrects or market slows down a bit, the areas outside Dubai are the first ones to fall because people will always come back to the center.
Right.
And the communities which don't offer you value for money. So Dubai is no longer about just a house or a building. It's about what is the facilities which is available. People are becoming more spoiled right now. If you're going to a community and doesn't have a children's play area, a children's park, lagoon to walk, jogging tracks, cycling tracks, I don't think so this kind of community will be surviving for a long term until unless it is giving you a very good value for money and compensation for something else.
Or it's in a very central location.
Exactly. So now people want lagoons, people want walking tracks, jogging tracks.
Spoiled for choice, huh?
Spoiled for choice. And these all unique features make something to move into a community.
Okay.
I don't mind driving more from my work, but if my kids are happy and they have extra play area.
Your inconvenience or your family's like that.
So again, the risk is if you're buying a property without doing a new due diligence or studying the market.
Right.
I think the third kind of risk is again going over your budget.
Okay.
So something you can't afford, but you are buying it in your peer pressure. Something because your friends want to move in or you want to show off. If you do that, eventually, even the market is good, you might not be able to afford it.
But it's very interesting because it's good news for you if somebody wants to show off and bring more money to the table.
So because then he wants to sell that property in a distress and then he goes to the market and says, Akash gave me that property. I'll spoil my name. I mean, it's 17 years in my time. I feel more proud if a person says, I have made this much money with your recommendation.
Right.
All the market situation is not under control with me, but I try my best to give them the best guidance. And if a person has increased the property value and if he can afford it and keep it, you will not believe how many people's housewarming party have been. Because they bought property and they moved in and they've called me. It's a fantastic feeling, you give it to
continue going to these parties rather than distress sales. We understand that. So when we come back, if you have any more risks, you can please tell us. But also tell us, you did mention that if there is a market correction, so if you see it, when we come back, you see that. And of course, we'll have the community of the week. So Akash, let's just continue with our discussion about the risks and also the community of the week.
Yes. So wrapping it quickly. So the final risk that I can tell you that it must be associated is you not be clear about what do you need in terms of apartment versus villas. So we have done a very good episodes where we have explained what is the difference between apartments, villas, and what is the kind of research that you need to do with this. So this is part of the research, but again, certain people, they have a budget and they get confused. Certain times that it's more affordable to have a villa than an apartment, and certain times it's much more secure and easy to have an apartment. So do your research, call us. We are there. I'm very confident about the market. I don't see any headwinds which are going to affect the market for next couple of months. Things change, situation change, so it is better that you keep your budget and your location tight. And you do a proper research before you go into. If you want to, see us and meet us, our office is located on Hissa Street. You cannot miss us. We are just there. You have just passed us. So if you have time, you can just drop in by, visit us anytime. This week, we are also doing a small sales event in Shobha Heartland.
Okay.
Which is also our community of the week.
All right.
Basically, a lot of people have missed, must have heard Shobha is there. The branding is there everywhere. You can't miss the name Shobha. But a lot of people don't know the advantages of Shobha Heartland. You should visit it. It's a nice small community which has come up very close to downtown. Very good quality apartments and villas which have been handed over. And we are doing this week on Saturday from 10 a.m. to 7 p.m. We are doing a sales event over there. So for that, you can just register with us on skyviewdubai.com or just give us a call and come visit us, because the property prices are starting from anywhere between 1.2 million, very close to downtown. It is only 16 minutes from downtown, and it makes a good investment sense. So community of the week wise, it's Shobha Heartland, and you can meet us over there and we can discuss more about this.
What are the facilities over there?
Shobha Heartland has two schools which are very famous schools, London North College and Heartland School. Also, the community-wise, there is everything. You're talking about supermarket, stores, groceries. Each building comes up with each facilities of its own. So you have swimming pool, sauna, gym, very high-quality finishing, very much close to downtown, as I said, 18 minutes far. And some of the buildings have a beautiful view of Ras Al Khor Bird Sanctuary. When you're looking at that bird sanctuary, it's such a nice green mix of birds, and then you have a small sea part which is coming in. So that feel itself, it's give you a very good feeling. Morning, when you're waking up with this nice view, your perspective change towards life. You want to work hard more. You want to stay that kind of and sense of achievement. You want to
make sure that you continue living
over there, and the sense of achievement that comes with this is amazing.
Amazing, I know, and that's the Dubai life that people aspire for, right?
Correct.
Also, when they come there, what can they expect? Like, is it a spot possession or what? Like,
so we are going to offer a lot of varieties. We have properties which are ready to move in.
Oh, okay.
There are a lot of properties which are ready to move in available. There are mix of varieties, new launches which are going to come up. There is going to be villas starting from 7 million onwards, and very close to Dubai. And there is going to be apartments which are going to start, as I said, from 1.2 million.
Right.
Good mixture of affordability. Shobha one is one of the projects which I like. It's a very interesting.
But everything's ready already, or
No, there are some units which are ready. People can choose. There are some units which is off plan. People can choose investing. Shobha one, as I said, is a very interesting looking building. It looks very far. Some concept of similar of the Royal Atlantis.
Oh, okay.
And the building looks very interesting from far. It has a mini golf course which is part of it.
So all of that, when they come on Saturday between 10 and 7,
yes,
will they be able to see it, like in the sense that any show flats or stuff like that?
Yes, there are show apartments, show villas available. They can feel the community. They can understand what is coming up, how far. We can drive them to the exact location of the unit. We can, if they are looking for a ready unit, we can show them a ready unit itself.
Okay. So where do they have to come on Saturday?
Saturday, it's in Shobha Heartland. For more information, you can give us a call. We'll send you the location map.
Right, because it must be quite big. So
it's in the sales center for Shobha. All you have to do is look for Skyview Real Estate sales event, and then you can get in touch with us.
All right. Okay, great. I think that sounds like a good plan for Saturday.
Right.
Go and check out. Even if you're not immediately wanting to buy, but you have some thought parked in your head.
Yes.
This could be a good way to start up and actually get familiarized.
Come and meet me rather than returning on the radio and giving me a call. It's a nice time that I will be available. We can interact and we can meet more.
All right. So before we leave, just let us know where they can contact you. And
again, so 050-2859-321 is our contact number. You can call us on this. You can send us a WhatsApp. I'll repeat it very slowly. 050-2859-321. And also you can visit us on our website at skyviewdubai.com. Follow us on Instagram, which is Skyview Dubai, and on YouTube, Skyview Dubai.
All right, so that is it for this morning with Akash. Thank you so much for joining us today.